Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. It is 6:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States in Rochester, New York. And today I wanted to talk about the United States Democratic National Convention. Last week, Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris as his running mate as vice president in the upcoming American election on November 3rd. We are getting closer and closer to that date. Election day is on November 3rd. Um, I just thought I'd do a video on Kamala Harris specifically. Um, they've been saying it's a good choice for her to be vice president because she's a woman of color and a woman, period. Um, I just wanted to urge everybody who's voting in the United States to not vote for Joe Biden and not vote for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is a radical Marxist communist who is radical in every way and hates America, wants to destroy America. And Joe Biden is somebody who acts like he's got Alzheimer's disease. He's senile, and he'll probably die in office if he wins the presidency of the United States just from old age, leaving Kamala Harris as president. That's a nightmare just waiting to happen. Kamala Harris is a radical Marxist. She despises the United States, and she's also a liar. When she was in the running for being the nomination for the presidency of the United States, she called Joe Biden a racist, a sexist, and a lot of other stuff without any evidence. And now she's suddenly his best friend. What does that show you? She's a liar and an opportunist. She will say and do anything to get in office. Um, Stephen Colbert, a comedian in the United States, asked Kamala Harris about when she accused Joseph Biden of being a racist and a sexist and a rapist. She just laughed it off and said it was a debate. In other words, what she was admitting was that for the sake of the debate, she was willing to lie about Joe Biden being a racist, a sexist, and a rapist. Um, Joe Biden himself is not the danger here. He is just an old doddering fool who happens to be, surprisingly enough, the Democratic choice for president of the United States. He has no idea what's going on. He's completely senile, and he chose a radical leftist communist Marxist to be his running mate just to win points with the far left political conspiracy that's going on. There's a lot of things wrong with Donald Trump. He's not very articulate. He doesn't speak well unless he's reading off a prepared speech. He's not an eloquent speaker. He doesn't have a whole lot of charm. He's rude. He's brash. He's, I don't know, just rough around the edges. I admit that on a personal level, there are a lot of reasons not to like Donald Trump. But if you look at what the Democrats have been doing to the country in just the past 6 months, allowing riots in Portland, allowing violence in Chicago, allowing violence in Seattle, doing nothing about the rioters and looters and people who want to burn federal courthouse buildings, all in Democrat-run cities, all the time calling these rioters and looters and criminals peaceful protests. That's what we got to look forward to if Kamala Harris ever becomes vice president. Because Joe Biden is so senile, she will in effect be president even as vice president. And Joe Biden already admitted himself that he's getting old and he probably won't run for re-election even if he won the first election, leaving Kamala Harris possibly in power as president. Any scenario in which Kamala Harris becomes president would be a nightmare of high taxes, no jobs, inflation, government interference in our lives, taking away our right to vote, our right to bear arms, our right to free speech, which the Democrats have already done in a lot of ways by influencing big corporations like Google, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook to censor political speech they don't like. The biggest corporations are giving in to censorship and punishing people who are not on the far left. Kamala Harris is a pawn in a puppet of the far left, and she supports groups, whether she says it or not. Groups like Antifa, which is a domestic terrorist organization, and she supports Black Lives Matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter as a slogan, that makes a lot of sense. But the organization Black Lives Matter is a Marxist, communist movement that wants to destroy the United States and destroy capitalism and destroy freedom and destroy nations. All you have to do, if you don't believe me, is go to the Black Lives Matter website and look at what the article on what they believe in. It'll say what we believe in, and it'll tell you they wish to destroy the American nuclear family, capitalism. They want to spread communism and Marxism. They want to defund the police, which will cause a rise in crime, and ironically enough, the murder of more people of color in neighborhoods of people of color who have high crime rates, which will only get worse if the police are defunded. And that's already happened in Seattle, Portland, Chicago, New York City. More people are being murdered by guns because of idiots like Mayor Bill de Blasio and the mayor of Seattle and the mayor of Portland. Those are just laying the groundwork for the confusion and terror that will engulf this country if Kamala Harris becomes vice president. Because remember, as Ben Shapiro has often said, Joe Biden acts like a dead guy. He has nothing to say. He's being controlled by the left. And Kamala Harris will effectively be president of the United States because Joe Biden won't be able to carry out the duties of the office, even if he wins the election. So I urge all Americans to vote for Donald Trump, whether you like him or not. He's got a lot of good policies. He's got a lot of good things going. And to give up on that now would be totally fucking ludicrous and insane. We cannot allow Kamala Harris to become president by voting for her and Joe Biden.